All right, the A's lost to the Mariners in a new series against Seattle. And day by day, with every loss, our playoff chances just become slimmer and slimmer. I mean, we're still ahead of Seattle, but who cares at this point? This team has been kryptonite to the A's all season. You got to give it to Seattle. I mean, I had thought nothing of them coming into this year, and they're somehow the team that beats us more often than not. 4-2 final score. A's offense was slow, pitching. Sean Manaea didn't do super well. He's too on and off, I feel like, to be a good, consistent pitcher, which has always been Manaea's problem. But yeah, in the top of the third inning, which that was when the first run of the game came in. That was a pretty big inning for Seattle when it all came down to it. Ty France singled to left. Moore scored. Crawford went to second. Then Seager in the same inning doubled to deep center. Crawford and France scored, and Haniger went to third. So it was 3-0 Seattle Mariners at that point. Chris Davis actually did double to a deep right center, and Pinder scored. That was in the bottom of the third inning, so the A's did get on the board. But in the top of the fifth, Seattle extended their lead with a Seager single. And Seager actually did get out at second, trying to stretch that single to a double, but it didn't really matter. And the A's did get one more run on the board in the bottom of the eighth. Marte singled to right. Andrus scored, and that was it, though. The A's just, we're coming down to the point where playoffs are impossible, and we just got to look back and think, if they were able to win games against the Mariners and other semi-decent teams like them, might be a different ending to this season. Sean Manaea is now 10-10, which really goes to show his record, how inconsistent he is. He'll get a great win, and then he'll get a great loss, and that's how it is. I mean, that tonight was just an example of a loss for Manaea that he shouldn't have lost. He's very on and off, and that's not the type of pitching we need to be a playoff contender. Anderson gets the win for Seattle, and the funny thing is the only two opponents we have the rest of this year is Seattle and Houston, the two divisional opponents. And I mean, although I think the playoffs are pretty much impossible at this point to make for the A's, I still think, these are the most important series of the season. We're 6.5 back of Houston. It sucks losing this because we were on a 5-game win streak, which very well could have been extended, but no. We're a game ahead of Seattle. They're obviously in the kind of a similar position to us. But the thing with the A's, though, is we had very high expectations for them, and the Mariners didn't. They had very low expectations. When you don't make the playoffs in 20 years, that's kind of the burden that comes with you. But yeah, I mean, the A's, their offense was all right. I mean, 7 hits. They weren't really able to bring in any runs. But Seattle had 10 hits. And there's nothing that frustrates me more is when the A's just allow so many hits, and it keeps going on, and it's terrible. I'm tired and fed up of all this losing. And a lot of it comes down to the inability to score runs and the fact that they allow so many. Manaea was responsible for all 4 of the runs the Mariners scored as well. I mean, the bullpen hasn't been terrible. It's past stretch, but it's Manaea. I mean, 4.05 ERA. It's just, this guy could be a lot better right now, and it's just, I'm frustrated. I truly am. 4-2 is the final, like I said. And like I said, very important next couple series. It's alternating between these 2 divisional opponents, and we're kind of scoreboard watching those 3 Eastern teams that are also on the hunt for the playoffs. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Not super confident right now. I feel like I've said that every single loss in the past couple of months, but we'll see. So anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. We'll see you guys later. Go A's.